Today I want to talk about the drum. Now to understand the drum, to get to the root of the drum, we must dissect it. Drums used by man before 6000 BC. Drums used in ancient times by tribes. The record shows Neanderthal men, troglodytes, cavemen. But even this can be traced back to the first land, the original land, the motherland, Africa. Before pre-Columbian Aztecs, before the Mayans talked to ancient astronauts, before Native Americans roam the earth, we had the drum. We had African tribes playing the drum. Using the drum to speak to God, using the drums to communicate, using the drums to conduct war, using the drums to conduct peace. We had the drum, and the drums speak to you. Zulu, Wasa, Yoruba, Swana, Zimba, Tutsi, Rungu, Lamba, Mada, Mende, Zambo, Bana, Shamba, Bamana, Liko, Lembe, San, Masai, Cuba, Africa. The drums speak to you. Now let's talk about the power of the drum, a spiritual thing. From modern jazz drummers to shaman using drums to heal the sick, to ancient rituals of Santeria, to the drum circles on the streets of Spanish Harlem. The drum speaks to you. The drum speaks to you. From 4x4 house music on the streets of Chicago to the inner city of Detroit, the drum speaks to you. From the early days of hip-hop in the streets of Brooklyn, the drum speaks to you. The drum speaks to you. Manipulating time and space, the drum speaks to you. From the islands of Cuba, Santo Domingo, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, the drum speaks to you. And the drum says, Africa. The drum speaks to you. Zulu, Wasa, Yoruba, Swana, Zimba, Tutsi, Rungu, Lamba, Mada, Mende, Zambo, Bana, Shamba, Bamana, Liko, Lembe, San, Masai, Cuba, Africa. The drum speaks to you. drums speak to you. And the drums speak to you.
And we are live. Welcome back to Chart Striker, everybody. This is your host, Dana. Hope all of you have had a good week so far, a good weekend as well. Me, myself, I've been enjoying it as much as I could with some guests and relatives and so on. So I've been away this week. Like, it was sudden plans. So I had, to put them first. But we were in touch with the community on Discord. We were still making, discussing trades and, TA and charts and whatnot. So for those of you who like to, keep the activity going or, just want to stay updated, make sure you join our Discord community where you will find like-minded people who share their insights. We talk about, what went wrong. We talk about what went right. We just, are just laid out and just go through things. Other than that, I'm glad to see some of you here already. I'm starting a bit late. We already have the weekly candle close right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start with the things immediately, like, the TA immediately, and then we'll take it from there, right? Okay, so what has happened so far? For those who haven't seen, the last stream, just a quick recap. I did say that I was still, leaning towards bullish. I am still, we're gonna get into it, but we did get that, wick to the upside, to that level. We literally tapped that resistance. I don't know how many of you remember this, but I spoke about this resistance, this box. I haven't changed an inch on it, okay? It's literally the same. Bitcoin tapped it, and then we came down. If we would have seen any, let's say 4-hourly candle close above this level, which is around 31,800-ish area, we would have probably seen it all the way up here, but that didn't happen. It tapped it and then it just, fell over, okay? Rolled over again. Now to the interesting part, the weekly. What is the weekly chart telling us, right? That's what we want to know. Because like I said last time, this week, next week, something better happen. And before I get into what's going on, I wanna tell you about a little detail that's telling us that, there's something cooking. There's something cooking, okay? Looking at the daily, if we look at the BB, we can see it's getting, narrower and narrower. Right when that happens, it's kind of telling us that something's about to happen, okay? Either to the upside, either to the downside. We're gonna get into it, but something is about to happen. Like, some kind of strong move is kind of cooking, okay? Now let's get into what's going on with the oscillators and so on. So on the weekly time frame, this weekly candle close, this one, I do not like that much. The close itself, okay, the way it's looking, I do not like it that much. But then again, I have to remind you, not much has changed. Now you might think, how come? This is looking ugly, like, oh, this is not looking that good. I'll tell you why. At the end of the day, looking at the daily, are we not still just going sideways? Right? We're just going sideways, like not much has changed. A lot of people could, go like, well, it's over. Well, it's neither this or that because we're still going sideways. That still hasn't changed, okay? Now back to the weekly, because I gotta get into details so you guys understand what the chart is telling us. It's very important that we read the chart as much as we can, right? On the weekly, we do have this ugly divergence. Those of you who are, on Discord, I already gave you a very good detail on what's going on with the divergence on the weekly, the 5-day, the 4-day, the 3-day, and so on and so forth. I even narrowed it down all the way to the daily, I think. So you guys already know what's going on, but those of you who are not on Discord, let me just tell you real fast. We do have some negative divergence that is developing on Bitcoin's oscillators, okay? Doesn't matter if it's the histogram you're looking at, it doesn't matter if it's the RSI you're using, both of them are kind of telling us the same thing, okay? Now, on the weekly, this is still bullish. The MACD is still bullish. That hasn't changed, okay? We still have some positive divergence as well on the histogram. That hasn't changed. RSI is, I mean, it is in okay territories. It's in territories that favor the bulls, more than anything else. So that hasn't changed. But the weekly, bad divergence that's developing, it's nothing that one should maybe just, ignore. Like, I take that into consideration when I'm, thinking of trades, just letting you know, okay, how I would think, how I would see this. So weekly still neutral. At the end of the day, yeah, maybe this week is the week. It's either gonna boom or doom, okay? Because I told you, either next week, either last week or this week, because it can't keep on just going sideways for weeks without anything happening, okay? That much we know. One of these days, it might be this week, okay? We are gonna see, a nice move, either to the upside, either to the downside. And now we're gonna get into the details when we're looking at the daily and so on and so forth. But on the weekly, I just wanna leave you with the divergence, still developing bad negative divergence, okay? But the Easterns, we're still going sideways. That hasn't changed. It's still pretty much, in other words, when I'm telling you it's still, pretty much, just going sideways, not much has happened. Like the trend, looking at Bitcoin, like the shorter, the midterm trend at the moment, at least right now, is to the upside, right? And just because we're doing this, it doesn't mean it's doomed. Look at this chart. Look at this, these, candles right here, okay? We went up, then we had, some type of, consolidation, just neutrality, right? And then we went, we had a nice, push to the upside, and then we had some type of a correction. So just because, we see these types of action, it's not the end of the world. And this is with the bad divergence as well, okay? So it's kind of similar, not exactly, not to the point, but kind-ish similar, okay? So it's just neutral still. We might, see some other moves, but I'm gonna get into why I think that, the bulls are still not gone completely, okay? And this is on the daily. Okay? Unless I see a close below, let's say, $29,000 on a daily time frame, okay? Because if it pulls back, look, on the 4-hourly, let me break it down for you this way. On the 4-hourly, if we see any close below 29.4-ish, yes, we go back to the loss of 29,000, even, 28,800-ish, very possible. But on the daily, unless we see a close below somewhere around, 29.1, 29,000, it is still fine. Now, we do have some nice divergence. Looking at the histogram, at least, we do have some nice divergence that is developing, okay? Pretty much the same thing on the other oscillator as well. It's maybe difficult to see, for somebody who is just learning, but there are some clues telling us that there is some type of, nice divergence that is developing on the daily. On top of that, back around support, back around these levels, and we are calling this, well, I'm calling this support for a good reason. How many times did, the bulls come to defend this level? Many times, right? We pull back down, bulls step in, push back up. We pull back down, bulls step in, push back up, right? And now we pulled back down, bulls kind of stepped in around these levels, and they're trying to do things. Now, on the daily time frame, there are small hints telling us that the bears could be a little bit exhausted. But problem is, unless we see a close at least above 30,800-ish, 30,850, we won't see, this 31, 5, 31, 8 levels just yet, okay? So we need a close above. I'm just gonna remove this one. Maybe not remove it. Let me keep that one there. Just hide it. Somewhere around these levels, we need to see a daily candle close somewhere above, 30,700 to 30,871. Like, if that can happen, we could probably come back to retest these levels. Why? Because of that nice divergence that we have, okay? That's developing on the daily time frame, right? Otherwise, we are, back to critical areas, back to the bottom of this channel. But I do see little signs when looking at the, easterns, that also westerns, that, the bears maybe are a little bit exhausted. They're not gone, but they're a little bit exhausted, okay? Which tells us that the bulls have a chance to step in and do something, all right? Okay, let's have a look at the 4-hourly. On the 4-hourly, it's like our side's back below, neutral levels again. On the MACD, like, we do have some positive divergence that is developing. Good. It's only gonna become invalid. This is the 4-hourly time frame, of course. If we see any close below 29,880-ish, that nice divergence that is, developing on the 4-hourly time frame, forget about it, okay? Also, I can see on the 4-hourly time frame, this is the thing. On the hourly, there are other resistance we need to get above, for us to reach, a certain level, okay? But on the 4-hourly time frame, there are a few signs, some signs also, just like the daily, that the bears are a little bit exhausted from this move, okay? From this move, right now they're looking a bit exhausted. So maybe that nice divergence that we're seeing, on the 4-hourly time frame, on the daily time frame, that is trying to develop, plus the fact that the bears are looking a little bit exhausted, could, give us some type of, bounce to this level. Now, I'm not saying, a reversal and, crush it back to the upside and, break this level right here. I'm just saying from where it is at the moment on the shorter time frames, yes, it's possible, like we could see, a bit bounce from these areas, okay? Now, on the hourly, I wrote this on Discord for, the strikers community, but we do have some resistance, somewhere between 30,420 to 30,450. We came all the way to 30,452, 53, to be a bit more fair, 53, and then we kind of rolled over again. Now, we need to hold this support on the hourly time frame, excuse me. Hold on. Let me show you. And this is on the hourly, okay? We need to hold this level right here. Okay. I think I mentioned this on Discord as well, the hourly support, right? By the way, guys, is the music volume, everything good? Is it perfect? Because to me it sounds perfect, but you guys know I don't have any problems with music and so on. But if it's disturbing, like if you can't hear me clearly, please do let me know, okay? All right, so on the hourly, we need to hold this level, okay? And we need to break above this area right here, 30,450. Any close above that level on an hourly time frame, then next resistance on the hourly time frame at least is all the way around 30,670-ish to 30,000, 800-ish, that level that I was just, talking about. That would be, somewhere around these levels, okay? On the 4 hourly, if we can see a close above 30,400 at least, all right? Because this, do not mistake it, this is for the daily, right? And this is mini obstacle, mini obstacle. If we see a close above this level, then we can push at least to the, recent highs, okay? Anyways, on the 4 hourly, it's a bit different. On the 4 hourly, we need to see a close above $30,700, excuse me. $30,700. If that happens, next resistance would be around 31,200-ish. Let me just draw it for you. Hold on. This is for the 4 hourly, okay? Here's your first resistance. Somewhere around these levels, okay? So, are we good? The resistance we need to break above on the hourly, for us to go a bit more, push a bit more higher, for the bulls to push a bit more higher. What we need to hold on the hourly as well, okay? You also know about the 4 hourly time frame, support, and the 4 hourly time frame resistance, and the daily mini obstacle before, the heavy obstacle, up there. And again, like any 4 hourly candle close, like let's say we reach these levels again, okay? We need to see a 4 hourly candle close above 31,800. If that happens, guys, there's not much holding us until 32,300, 32,400-ish levels. Literally nothing if that happens, okay? And after that, the story. I've been talking about this quite a few times, right? So you know what's up. We do have some type of resistance around. Let's see now. Because before this resistance right here, there was another one. I just forgot to mark it. Hold on. Yeah, around that 34,500-ish level, okay? Do not forget about that one. I haven't marked it. But that 34,500-ish level, that's another obstacle that we have, before we reach this level. But other than that, there is no other obstacle, okay? All right, shall we move on? I think this is clear, right? If you have any questions, let me know and we can, discuss it together, okay? Now let's have a look. And by the way, if this, starts, if T is respected and we see the bulls, pushing, from these levels again, all right? Because, the bears are looking a bit exhausted. Yes, it could take, a few altcoins with it as well, okay? Besides, you guys know, I always say I'd like to give it 24 to 48 hours, at least the weekly candle close. The weekly candle, I like to give it 24 to 48 hours for it to mature. After it does, one can see which way it's leaning towards more, okay? All right, let's have a look at Ethereum and then we'll check out the altcoins. Okay, I have to say again, this resistance around this level, that 1,920 to 1,940, it is not a joke. I mean, it's so strong. It's so strong. We just had a wick above that level, and then guess what? Not one body close above this level. And yes, one day I'm gonna clean all this, okay? But for educational purpose, let it just be right now. Just focus on what I'm trying to show you, okay? We still have a problem. We still haven't seen one close above this level. Like, if we could see that, if we can see that, like this area right here would probably be tapped. But what's going on? We got negative momentum on the oscillator still, okay? MACD is like whatever. Like, it's trying to cross bullish again, but it's pretty much whatever, okay? It's not that super exciting, okay? It is what it is. Our RSI is above neutral, which is good. I don't I can't hate on this, but there is some negative divergence. There is some sort of negative divergence developing, okay? Unfortunately, like Ethereum better do something like fast. Like this, the way it's looking right now, I'm not like I don't feel comfortable for the bulls. Like, the bulls shouldn't feel that comfy. Looking at the weekly at the moment, like this week, guys, this week, Ethereum needs to do things. Ethereum needs to do things because the weekly right now, sure, we're slowly losing the negative momentum, on the oscillators, right? Slowly, it's, getting, smaller and smaller. Fine, but unfortunately, I don't see any signs of any positive divergence, number one. This is looking fine. I'm not saying, like, I can't hate on it, like, it's looking fine, but the fact that we can't even close above this level, it's a little bit worrying, right? It's a little bit worrying, okay? Maybe the daily has some other type of story for us, that's, a bit better. Besides, we also gotta give, this one 24 to 48 hours till the weekly candle, matures a little bit. But on the daily, at the moment, yeah, I don't like the fact that it, like, look, it closed already below 1936, which means there is pressure to the downside. Just letting you know, okay? You might not like to hear it, but just letting you know there is pressure to the downside. So, chances are a bit higher that we can come all the way to these levels, okay? Around 1,000, 800, let's just say lows of 1,900 to 1,860-ish, very possible on Ethereum at the moment. Unfortunately, because since price closed below this red line, okay, it's just literally telling us that there is pressure. Like, the bulls got pressure on them, okay? They got pressure on them. So yeah, I don't know what else to add. Let's zoom in and have a look at the 4-hourly time frame and so on. Just gonna have a sip of water. Chat, how you've been doing, how you've been feeling, how has trades been going? Like, have you been killing it? Hopefully you have. All right, let's continue. So, support on the 4-hourly time frame. Before we get into support, I'd probably let's just talk about the westerns first, right? So negative momentum on the oscillators. MACD is bearish. RSI is like, just around neutral levels at the moment. Like, nothing special going on there. We do have some signs of, some positive divergence that is developing at the moment. Problem is, I don't like the fact that we are below this level. I'm gonna say it again. I do not like the fact that, Ethereum is below this level. For the bulls, I don't like it. For the bears, I guess it's fine, right? So, on the 4-hourly time frame, we need to hold support around these areas. Let me just draw it for you. Hold on. Okay, cool. It's pretty much like the daily. Remember what I said about the daily? There are chances that it can come all the way here, right? This is if, look, if we see any 4-hourly candle close below, 1,920, you remember that resistance, that main resistance, you see, look left. This resistance right here, right? So if we can see any like if we see any close below this area, like there's not much holding us, unfortunately, until all the way down to the loss of 1,900 to 1,863. It's basically what I said about the daily, so it's going hand in hand with what the 4-hourly chart is telling us also. Okay, looking at the hourly, your support is right here. Hourly support is a bit different, meaning if we see any close on the hourly time frame below that level, then most likely that we see this level get hit, right? Did I not mark it? I did. Okay. So on the hourly, this is support right here. You know how precise I have to be, guys, so hold on, bear with me. At least I try to be as precise as possible, because the moment people relax when doing TA, the outcome is not that good. Okay, like I always tell people, do not relax when doing TA. Like, do not get comfortable just because you have more wins than losses. Like, I always try to remind myself, do not get comfortable, because the moment you get comfortable, you start getting a bit sloppy when it comes to doing TA. Like, sloppy meaning your ego gets to you and you're too comfortable, and then you just draw whatever, or you don't even want to look into the details and so on and so forth, right? Okay, we're good. I think it's good enough the way it is. There you go. So this is our hourly support. Okay, so any close below this level, then most likely that we go and test that next potential support for the 4-hourly time frame. Okay, which goes hand in hand with that daily as well. Now on the hourly, MACD bearish, negative momentum on the oscillators. Yeah, like there are some small signs of some positive divergence that is trying to build, but it really doesn't mean crap if we can't even see a close above $1,940, around that level, even on an hourly time frame. Like that could do something. If that happens, yes, we could go all the way back to 1,960-ish to 65-ish, very possible. Okay, that would be the next resistance for the hourly time frame, that is. Okay, let me just show you. There you go. Cool, awesome. So that's pretty much it, about the support, about the resistance, what it needs to do, and so on and so forth. And now we can head on and look at the others, right? Everybody been talking about Ripple. But a lot of people were like, the news. But how many of you watched the streams and knew about this beautiful cup and handle that was forming on the weekly time frame? Now, I'm not a cup and handle fanatic. Like, they work out sometimes, but they don't always work out. But then again, it's like every other indicator out there. Doesn't matter what you're looking at, like, there's nothing that works 100%. There is nothing. If any of you can come with an indicator and tell me this works 100%, Dana, okay, I'm gonna buy a dinner or something. But I know for a fact, I know that is impossible. It's just tools, it's not magic, right? But we had this beautiful cup and handle that was brewing. Thing is, I kept on telling you, below this level, bears are pressuring the bulls. Above this level, good times, right? So what happened on the weekly time frame? Let's get into things and see what we can take out. So we got positive momentum on the oscillator. MACD is bullish. RSI, it's not overbought yet, so it's meaning there is room for some more action. Okay, this beautiful candle, I can't hate on it. Like, I cannot hate on it on the weekly time frame. Okay, Ripple is not looking that bad. We went a bit above resistance, just a little bit, but we kind of tapped resistance. Hold on. Because you guys, I think you already know, I already spoke about this levels a few, because I always tell you guys, if this happens, we can see it come here. If that happens, we can see it come here, and so on and so forth. So I've been speaking about this since what? Probably February, March. Like, this is nothing new, right? So at last it came. Positive momentum on the oscillators, volume came in, buyers came in, which is good, matches this weekly candle as well. Like, this is one strong candle, I cannot hate on it. Now let's have a look at the daily. Daily, as you guys can see, old resistance is kind of acting as some type of support, right? At the moment we're still just hovering around these areas, which is not a bad thing. But now Ripple has some new resistance areas. Looking at, excuse me, that was the 12 hourly. Gotta have a look at the daily, okay? But pretty much the same support is the same, okay? It does matter. But we have some new resistance for Ripple on the daily time frame. Let me show you. First resistance right around these levels, okay? I'm drawing for the weekly resistance as well, in case things, look good for Ripple, we better be ready, right? Yeah, I think since this hit already, so I'm just gonna remove it. It's just, for my TA, just to be aware of what's going on. All right, so weekly, in case things start to get real interesting for Ripple, Next resistance is all the way around, 1.16 to 1.241. Okay, somewhere around these levels, right? Let me just draw it for you. And then after that, like next resistance would be around 1.43-ish, all the way to 1 point. Like this is happening. Like if it happens, this is gonna be very interesting for Ripple, okay? But maybe we shouldn't get into it at the moment. But this you guys should definitely know about, just in case, okay? Daily right here. Okay, so daily resistance right here. Still. We got some, unfortunately, I just noticed that there are signs of some negative divergence on the weekly. Not the best thing, You guys see the histogram, right? So we do have some negative divergence at the moment that is developing. Okay, it's not complete yet. That is developing. It could become invalid though if, price, continues. Oscillators follow it, follow the price action as well. But yeah, I don't like the fact, what do I always tell you guys? I do not like it when things run a bit too fast, okay? Meaning it's not that sustainable. Because if it takes its time to develop, like if it takes its time and it's slowly going up, it's a different thing. But when they just run to the upside, one should be a little bit careful, just a little bit careful, okay? A little bit cautious, right? Let's have a look at the 4-hourly. Negative momentum on the oscillators, MACD is bearish. This is on both the oscillators at the moment. Okay, pretty much negative, except for the RSI is in good territories, which is not a bad thing. But other than that, on the 4-hourly, we need to see a close. We need to see a 4-hourly candle close above 0.787. Okay, simple as that. 0.787, around that level. Any 4-hourly candle close above that level, there's a decent chance, we can come a bit higher and then a bit higher. But we need to see a 4-hourly candle close at least above 0.787, okay? Or 0.789, whichever you want to call it, right? We have some beautiful support, old resistance that is acting as support for Ripple at the moment. So all the way, down to 0.715, all the way to 0.69-ish. There is some support. Well, actually 0.69-ish. There is some support for Ripple. Any. But if we see any 4-hourly candle close, guys, below this level, yes, possibilities are gonna be higher that we come all the way down here. But we don't want to see. Look, the XRP bulls, the XRP army, that's probably not want to see a close, a 4-hourly candle close below this area, because if that happens, just like this yellow line was acting as a critical area, critical level, now this red dashed line, I don't know if you guys can see it. You see it right here? It's very important, okay? Why? Any 4-hourly candle close below this level, guys, the pressure is on the bulls from the bears again, okay? And that means we could see Ripple probably come all the way down to 0.58, 0.6-ish. I know people are hyped up, amped up when it comes to Ripple. I'm just saying though, if we see a 4-hourly candle close with a bit of strength, better be cautious. Like, it's best to be cautious. Of course, you guys can do whatever you like, but I'm just saying, like, if I see anything like that, I'm gonna be cautious, and I'd rather just play it all the way down here, right? Okay, so about the resistance level, about the support level, what we need to hold on the 4-hourly time frame. Otherwise, it's pressure from the bears on the bulls again, right? On the daily, I do not want to see any daily candle close below 0.6. Let me just draw a line for you. I think it's easier if you guys can visualize it, like see it in front of you, right? So any close below this area, right here, excuse me, not right here, I was looking at the weekly, my bad. Somewhere on this level, okay? Which is around 0.63-ish. Any daily candle close below that level, guys, we better, like, it's any close below this area, this red line, 0.625-ish, 0.63-ish, somewhere around that level, okay? Then again, bears are gonna be pressuring the bulls pretty hard. So any daily candle close below this level with a bit of strength, unfortunately, there is a decent chance we can go all the way back to the lows of 0.5. Okay, very decent chance. Like, if I even say around 0.47, it could be a bit shocking at the moment, because we're all the way up here. But I'm just saying, if this happens, most likely that this could happen. Okay, so that people are just aware and ready, right? Ralph, welcome to the show. I'm glad you made it. So you guys get it, right? So just be a bit careful, okay? All right, let's have a look. It's been a while, Ralph. It's been a while. Let's have a look at the hourly as well. Hourly time frame. Easy resistance levels that I can see and spot out. So we're just gonna draw it straight away. Maybe no need to draw it. Maybe no need to draw it. Maybe you guys can just remember this, right? Or maybe I should draw it. Hold on. Just hold on. First resistance, right around these levels, okay? This on the hourly time frame, right? Okay. So any hourly candle close above this level. Somewhere between 0.78-ish. If we see any hourly candle close above 0.78-ish, most likely that we go to the top of the channel, right? After that, like, there's not much holding us until well, all the way to 0.93 and so on and so forth. So hourly resistance right here, okay? R1, 1 hour. There you go. On the hourly, we have also a different support area, okay? A bit different compared to the 4-hourly and so on. And it's right here. So as long as we're holding this level, I guess we're not gonna see, these areas just yet. So this is our hourly support, okay? Are we good, guys? Are we cool? I think we got it. I think we got everything in order when it comes to Ripple. RSI is still above, neutral when it comes to the hourly time frame. MACD is bearish though. Negative momentum on the oscillators. But we do have some beautiful, divergence developing. Like, if we can see this hold, yes, there is a decent chance, we can go all the way back to 0.78-ish, 0.79-ish, very possible, okay? So that's it for Ripple. Any close below this level, then next critical area right here for Ripple, okay? Like there is some major support around 0.68. Hopefully that holds. Other than that, I don't see any major positive divergence that is developing. Just a little one, and it does count. That is developing at the moment. But any close below this level, that little, positive divergence that's trying to develop is completely out of the question, okay? All right, good. Are we done with Ripple as well? Awesome. What's Bitcoin doing so far? We've done these three. Let's just have a look at, Bitcoin real fast, and then we'll continue with a few more. So this closed about, around 30,250, okay? Yeah, I know it might look scary, but it's not that scary. It's whatever. It's like doing its thing, but like I told you, I'm sticking to my TA and that's it. All right. Okay, let's move on. Before I do, chat, do you have any requests before I go ahead and talk about Solana and Inch and some other altcoins? Let me know in the comment section and we can have a look at things together. All right, let's move on. Remember what we discussed on the last stream? Literally on the last stream, I told you guys that might sound crazy, when we are around these levels, and I'm talking about there's a nice chance that we could see, levels of, $32, $35, very possible. Guess what? We came all the way to at least, 32.11, right? Almost tapped that level I was talking about, $33 to $35, right? Because I told you guys last time, it was impossible for me to hate on. And then when we're talking last time, when I was live last time, prices were around these levels. I think you guys remember, right? Prices were around these levels. And I told you guys, like, I cannot hate on the Solana chart right now. I can't. A lot of people have lost hope, after, being burned by Solana and so on and so forth, trading wise. But we have to adapt, to the market, put our feelings aside, because if you hold on to your feelings when it comes to trading, you're probably gonna have a hard time, right? You're gonna have a hard time, making, good decisions, right? So we got some positive, momentum on the oscillators. MACD is still bullish. Weekly is still looking fine for Solana. Like I can still not hate on this. I just can't. There is some negative divergence that is developing. So it's very important for Solana to see at least a close above this area. Super duper important, because if we can see a close above $38 to $40, then one of the negative divergence that is developing is gonna become invalid, okay? But until then, there's definitely some developing, so we have to be a little bit cautious, you know, and see what's going on. But I'm leaning towards like looking at the weekly. Right now, I cannot hate on this yet. Thing is, we are at resistance. Well, we were at resistance, okay? Right now, we pulled back a little bit, but we are close to that resistance area. Do you get what I mean, right? Looking at the daily, yeah, not loving this that much. I think you guys know what I'm gonna say, right? It's like we have, you know, some sort of a shooting star and so on and so forth. Our site is overbought. I mean, if you're buying at these levels, I don't know what to say, right? We could come back and retest these areas, but it really doesn't mean anything unless we see a close above, you know, 32.35, 32.4. And then after that, we do have some resistance. You know, do not forget this resistance around, you know, $35. But any close above, you know, $35, then yeah, most likely that we tap that $40 area, okay? On the daily, we also have some... Oh yeah. Unfortunately, there is some negative divergence on the daily as well that is developing. Unfortunately, okay? Looks like the bulls, looking at the daily, guys, the bulls are a bit exhausted. The bulls are a little bit exhausted. Looking at the 4-hourly, it's looking fine-ish. I mean, as long as we can hold above 25.96, it is fine. If it fails to hold, though, like if we see any, you know, 4-hourly candle close below 24.8, you know, 26, let's just say, you know, 24.8, yes, there is a decent chance we can pull all the way back to 23, $22, very possible. On the 4-hourly, we do have, you know, some negative momentum on the oscillators. There is some positive divergence though that is developing, which is, you know, a good thing that we want to see, right? On the hourly, our support is, first support is right around these levels, okay? Right around these levels, right? Second one is all the way here. That is, if this fails to, you know, act as, you know, a good support, then yes, we can go lower, okay, to at least to the bottom of the box, this blue box, old resistance, right? And when it comes to resistance on the hourly time frame, our resistance is all the way here. There you go. That's your first resistance for Solana, okay? Any hourly candle close above this area, most likely that we go, you know, and retest these levels at least. But it's so close, like it really, it's not that significant, you know, when it comes to the, you know, difference, price difference, but, or the range difference. But nevertheless, I still have to give you my unbiased TA, so it doesn't matter if I think it's ridiculous or not. That really doesn't matter, okay? On top of that, let me just mark this before I go ahead and show you something else that looks interesting on Solana right now. Awesome. Now, let me draw something and show you what I see here. Take notes, guys. Take notes. Look at how I'm drawing the trend lines. And for those of you who want to learn, have a look at the how to draw trend lines the correct way in my YouTube. Like you'll find it on, my YouTube channel somewhere there. But take notes of how I'm drawing it at the moment, guys. This is helpful for, when I'm not online and streaming and you guys want to do your own TA, draw your own trend lines and so on and so forth, right? The whole purpose of the channel is, for you guys to learn. This was one weird heck of a triangle. But nevertheless, it's making sense. Okay, I think I'm done tweaking it because you guys know I like to perfect it as much as possible. Let's have a look at the 4 alley and see if it makes sense as well. Yes, it does. This is good. Okay. All right, so you see what's going on, right? You guys are aware of what, I'm looking at, right? We are, within, some type of a pennant at the moment. And since it's after an, a push to the upside or an uptrend, then, this is more of a bull pennant than a bear pennant, right? So this is not bad. Now we just need to hold this level. Like support is right by that level, right? We need to hold these areas, number one. And if we break up to the upside, I don't want to see a wick, like a fake out. I don't want to see a fake out, like a wick to these levels, and then we just, get back within the pennant, and then, it might break down to the downside. What I want to see is a break above this pennant, like a literal break above 28.7, right? And then a continuation to this level, and then for Solana price to just break above this level. Then yeah, we could, see these levels again. It's not that big. It's not that big of a difference, okay? We're talking about what? 5%, so on and so forth. But 1% a day keeps the trade losses away or something. I don't know, something like that. You get the point, okay? All right, so that's Solana for now. We can move on. Yeah, but I can't hate on the weekly. I still can't hate on the weekly when it comes to Solana. I still can't. Like, our site is far from being overbought on the weekly, okay? Sure, on the daily, it's had its moment. Like, this is telling you it needs to cool off. Like, not telling you, but it needs to cool off, okay? For a sustainable, move to the upside. A nice one, this needs to cool off. It needs to reset. Simple, right? Okay, we can move on. Let's move on. I don't know, I probably forgot a thing or two to mention. I'm not so sure, but if I did, just let me know. We're still creating what? Higher lows, right? On the hourly, higher low, which is good. But looking to the upside, we're also creating, lower highs, all right? On the 4 hourly, okay, it came here, another, lower high. We'll see what happens. Like, we need to see a close above this level. It's serious, guys. On the 4 hourly time frame, we need to see a close above, $29. Simple, okay? All right, let's move on to the next one. Next, Inch, my friends, Inch. I told you about this on the last stream. Okay, I was very clear about Inch looking very nice, very juicy, right? So what has happened? Let's talk about it, shall we? Positive momentum on the oscillator still. RSI is like in territories that favors the bulls more than anything else, which is not a bad thing, right? This is looking at the weekly time frame, of course. I don't see something that's looking super bad, like, except for the fact that we are at resistance. But if this week engine can close above 10.15 $5, $10, somewhere around that level, like, don't be that shocked if you see it around 13.3 to 14.3. Very possible if that happens. Okay, let's have a look at the daily. By the way, I did mention, right, positive momentum on the oscillators and so on and so forth. At the moment, there is no signs of any negative divergence. Looking at Inch on the weekly, let me just double check. Okay, there is a little sign of some negative divergence developing, just a little bit. Okay, yeah, we need to see a close this week. We need to see a close above $10. Okay, at least. All right. Looking at this, looks like there is pressure from the bears on the bulls at the moment. There is some pressure from the bears on the bulls. Positive momentum on the oscillators. MACD is still bullish. RSI is in territories that favors the bulls as well. But on the daily, there are clear signs of some negative divergence. Okay, very clear signs. As long as we are below 9.1, right, it's gonna get a bit difficult, to get back to that, level we need to break above on a weekly time frame. Even on a daily, like, we need to break above this level. Okay, right there. So any close above this level, I told you already, next, okay, 13 to 14.3, somewhere around that level. Not that strange, right? As next resistance, that is. But negative divergence developing on both oscillators are telling you the same thing, because they're pretty much the same, right? We discussed this last time. Let's have a look at the 4-hourly. Okay, very interesting. If it manages to hold this level right here, it's fine. Okay, if it manages to hold this level, no 4-hourly candle close below 8.672, it's fine. If we see a close below this level on a 4-hourly time frame, then most likely that we pull down, at least to the loss of, $8, that being, 8.3, 8.2-ish, somewhere around that area. Okay, we do have some positive divergence trying to develop, but it could still be developing even if we come, a bit lower. It doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It will still be developing even if we come down a bit more. Okay, if we see any close below 7.856, that's when I'm packing my bags and leaving the show, just, letting it go. Because then that, positive divergence that is trying to develop and so on and so forth is gonna get crappy. It's gonna become invalid, okay? But until then, yeah, we are at support levels right now. If we want to see some action, we gotta see at least a 4-hourly candle close above $9. Okay, if that happens, there's a decent chance we come back, to this level right here, okay, which is around, let me just draw it for you, hold on. Somewhere around these levels, but major resistance, do not forget, it's all the way around 10, right? Capiche, chat, strikers? Are we understood? Okay, let's move on. Yeah, I could take the hourly. By the way, on the hourly, it's good that I just, switched to the hourly right now. Not bad. Negative, momentum on the oscillators, yada, 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 and so on and so forth. But on the hourly also, we are at some type of support at the moment, okay? Even for the hourly, this still is valid, okay? MACD trying to curl, to the upside again, but it's bearish at the moment. RSI is, back to weakish territories, right? It's below neutral. We have some beautiful divergence that is developing. Oh yeah, we have some very beautiful divergence, developing, but we got a problem, Houston. This is the problem. On the hourly, this is our first resistance. So we could see a bounce. But won't mean that much if we can't see an hourly candle close above this area. Okay? All right. All those boxes left and right, but hopefully you're getting something, like it's easier for you guys to understand, right? Okay, so any hourly candle close above this level, then expect this level next to be the next potential resistance, right? Until we see that, yeah, we could maybe we're gonna see some sideways action, I don't know. But what I see is bears are getting exhausted on the hourly. We have some nice divergence and so on and so forth, so most likely that we see this level, but if it's gonna break or not, that we do not know, right? Okay, awesome, we're done with Inj as well. Okay, chat, any requests? Let me know. It's like so damn hot where I'm at. Like it's too hot, too hot. Strikers, how you doing? How's it going? No requests today? Like everybody's like quiet. It's probably because the weekend has been hard, or you've been going hard this weekend, and then suddenly Sunday comes, everybody's ready for Monday and so on and so forth. But people get a bit tired, the energy is just a little bit lower. But when Fridays come, everybody's busy, pumping, just getting amped up for the weekend, right? Do I think it is what I think it is? It might be what I think it is. Hold on. Yeah, let me draw this on the other chart and you guys will see it here. Or maybe we can just, draw it on this chart, doesn't matter. Yeah, Holly, yeah, there's a lot of volatility, like depending on what you're looking at. I mean, not the traditional assets since the weekend, but yeah, the other, like the crypto market, like so much has been happening. It's been crazy. It's been awesome though. It's been a good feeling. Really, is it that hot? Like it's I'm so I just want to strip off at this moment. Like it's too hot and I don't want to have the AC on because I'm probably gonna get sick, so do not want to do that either. But it's too hot. I don't know how many degrees it is here. Traders Heaven range, right? Have you been enjoying one of those? Did you find any of those? Like I love the Traders Heaven. I just love the Traders Heaven. We might find one. We'll see. We might find one today while we're just scrolling around and trying to see what the market's doing. We might find one. If we do, like, yeah, we're definitely gonna take advantage of it, right? It's all about finding opportunities in this market and doing the best out of it, right? Okay, so this seems to be what I think it was. So not the most perfect one. But yeah, it's kind of respecting some type of a parallel channel at the moment, okay? So yeah, most likely we hit this level. Question is, are we gonna continue to the upside after we hit this level, right? 40 degrees? 40? Okay, I feel sorry for you. Okay, I feel very sorry for you. Okay, I shouldn't be complaining then about the weather here because here I think the highest, it's not that hot, 40 degrees, like you're talking about my back's, melting outside and so on and so forth. That's a bit too hot, a bit too hot. Here, okay, tomorrow, like you're making me feel bad about complaining right now, Holly, because here it's maximum, like tomorrow the hottest it's gonna be around 17 degrees, 18 degrees. So now, just because I feel a bit more sorry for you, I'm not even gonna complain, okay? So, yeah, just have an umbrella like above your head or something so you don't melt. The umbrella is probably gonna melt, but you get the idea. It's too hot. It's too damn hot. Damn. 40 degrees. That's like the Sahara. That's like the Middle East. It's like the weather in Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and so on and so forth. That's sick. That's sick. Okay, this is already happening. Okay, this is not the Traders Heaven range, but we do see something happening already. So it is still an opportunity. Like one could maybe take action on, right? Because you don't want to take action here. You want to take action here. Right? There's a difference. Oh my god, Howley. I feel sorry for, your PCs, yourself, your head, your, like, take care, like just remember, keep hydrated, like, have a lot of, water close to you, because the heat nowadays is, like, it's sick. Year after year, it's just hotter, like, it gets warmer and warmer, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Crazy stuff. I have friends, I know people that, live in the Middle East. And when I complain about the heat here in Europe, they're like, you wouldn't make it a day down here. Not a day. And I always tell them, like, I'm probably gonna get used to it because I've tried it, but they say it's worse. Canada, igloo in the winter and damn desert. Is it like that? Okay, then I understand. What fires? Okay, that I didn't hear about. But Canada in the winter, I've heard but I didn't know that it was that hot in Canada. That's news to me. I had no idea. Please, friends, take care. Stay hydrated. Like, drink a lot of water. I mean, use an umbrella or something, you know? Like it's not easy. It's not easy. Luckily, all of us, well, most of us, you know, use cars and whatnot, and otherwise it's not easy walking in this heat. A whole province always sets on fire in summer here on the west coast. Wow, wow, wow. I hope they manage to, you know, handle the fire situation, because yeah, that can't be any fun. I understand. Yeah, like in some places in where I am, like you're not even allowed to grill outside at the moment. You're not allowed. If you do, you're probably gonna get fined and so on and so forth. Minus 40 degrees. Okay, that's bad. That's bad. It gets like minus 15, minus, you know, 16, 17 here, and like I told you one day, guys, like suddenly you want to, you know, hug your enemies just to get a bit of warmth, just to feel a bit of heat. It's horrible. Like, it's horrible. Oh my god. Oh my god, I feel sorry for you, Holly. I feel sorry for you. That's harsh. That's harsh. Minus 40, I'd probably just pack my bags and leave. Just leave. Get me my passport and I'm leaving. Simple. Okay, so Uniswap. We gotta talk about this one. Like, it's been a while, okay? And now, suddenly, the weekly's looking a little bit better, right? We are above critical areas, which is a good thing. We did reach this resistance, you know, and then what happened? We kind of went down. But, went down meaning we corrected a little bit, for me at least. Sounds so nice. Mild warrior. Well, you're welcome here, but we're not gonna change places, because if I'm complaining about this climate, I'm probably not gonna be able to handle Canada's, like, literally. And I think Canada is beautiful, but yeah, the weather situation is not my thing. It's not my thing. All right, so we came all the way, you know, to these levels. We got resistance around, what, 6.283, so on and so forth. We came all the way to 6.156, which is not a bad thing, but it doesn't look like the move is over yet. It still doesn't look like it's over yet, okay? There are no signs of any negative divergence, nothing like that. Like, it's still looking good. Positive momentum on the oscillators. MACD is probably bullish. Yes, it is. This is not bad. This is not bad for Uniswap, okay? Looking at the daily, a bit different, just like many other altcoins we had a look at. There is some negative divergence on this one as well, on both oscillators. Like, okay, as long as we do not see a daily candle close below 5.563, it's good. Any daily candle close below that level, yes, we could pull back, you know, back to these areas again, okay? But as long as we're above this 5.5-ish area, it's fine. It could pull back. Let it pull back, okay? Let it cool off. If it holds, it's fine. If not, then we know what is most likely to happen next, and we know what next support is, okay? For Ali, why am I seeing those? Is it what I think it is? I think it is what I think it is. Okay, let's bring out the tools and start drawing, right? Like, it feels like I keep on noticing these things over and over. Is it like this? Or is it like this? Because that didn't make any sense. Okay, that didn't make any sense at all. Hold on. There's something indeed, but I'm just, you know, trying to figure out what it is that I'm seeing. Is it this? Yeah, no. This kind of makes sense, but at the same time, no. Mago, welcome to the show. Glad you made it. Well, glad you made it. Like, okay, somebody's gonna be having some nice dinner today, right? Glad you made it. Welcome back. It's been a while, seeing everybody together here. Like, we're always, talking on Discord and so on and so forth, but it's always, fun when we're interacting live. It gives it a little bit more sauce, right? A bit more spice. Okay, it's not this either because, yeah, there is, some channel that is being respected, but... yeah, no. So I'm gonna remove this one as well. Because if it doesn't make sense, when one is drawing trend lines, okay, and it's not making sense, do not force it. Do not force it. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense, and leave it alone. Simple. What is this? What am I seeing? Yeah, not this either. Like this, like, okay, like we got one touch there, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess that kind of makes it valid. We got the gaps that we need. Okay, fine. I don't know though. It's like, making a little bit of sense, like drawing it, trying to get a frame on this. But at the same time, I'm not satisfied with it. Hence, I'm just gonna remove it. You guys know, if I'm not satisfied, I'm not gonna force it. Sure, it was a valid, triangle, but nothing that I feel comfortable with, following. Okay, on the hourly time frame, let's see if we can see anything juicy here. Yes, indeed, we can see something juicy. There is some beautiful positive divergence that is developing on Uniswap on the hourly. So, and I do see signs that the bulls are trying to step in because the bears are a bit exhausted. Like, support is all the way here, okay? Like I said, support, we got support all the way here, so that's fine. But resistance on the hourly, first resistance for Uniswap is... first, okay? And second, okay? This is for the hourly, right? Awesomeness. Like, I don't know why I'm trying to make sense of this because I feel like there's something going on. You know what? I think I figured it out. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I think I figured it out. Because, sometimes after all those years of experience, my eye sees something, it sends the signals to my brain, and then my brain, tries to make sense out of, the whole situation. Yep, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Okay, there you go. Yep, there is some type of parallel channel that it is, following at the moment. We got our touch here, we got another touch here. Like, it's not to the dot. What do we say? Be flexible, right? Another touch here, another touch here. Kinda, not really, but kinda, okay. So yeah, okay, at last. Now my soul can rest in peace because it's been itching me. Like I like to I like to make sense of what my brain is trying to tell me. So now we've made sense. Now we can move on, okay? Funny that this resistance on the hourly kind of matches up with this parallel channel as well. Notice, right? Okay, cool, cool. Friends. What else? What else can we have a look at? Like, have you guys seen something that looks interesting, you know, that we should, you know, put some time into? Let me know. Pepe. I love saying Pepe, just, you know, the way like that, you know. That meme on TikTok, I think it's not a meme, but there's some, you know, funny video where a girl is making coffee or something, and she says something like, I don't know, cafe or, you know, something, I don't know. But me and Ralph, we always have a good laugh about this one. But Pepe, bisquete. Okay, on the weekly time frame, like, I can't do much with this, guys. I can't do much. Doesn't it look a bit like what Bitcoin is doing? Just neutrality at the moment, right? Look, as long as Pepe does not see a close on the weekly time frame below 1 to 9, I'm not gonna, you know, recite all the zeros, but 1 to 9, it's fine. Or 1 to 8, you know, somewhere around that level, it's fine, okay? Any close below that level, though, then there's a decent chance we pull back, you know, to the lows, okay? Simple, right? On the daily, we are at support, okay? Right around these levels, we got some support, okay? Any close below this level, next support would be around 120-ish. I can remove this one now. It's not needed. This is not, well, it's needed, but I can draw a new one. There you go. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, we don't want to see a daily candle close below 1 to 1, right? If that happens, what happens? We could pull back all the way to the lows of 100, okay? On the 4 hourly, we are at support, that's good, but I don't see any clear signs that we are exhausted. I don't at the moment. Not on the hourly either. I just don't, unfortunately, okay? For you Pepe bulls, unfortunately, I don't see anything, you know, implying that at the moment. RSI below neutral on the, you know, 4 hourly time frame. Negative momentum on the oscillators. MACD is bearish. There are some signs of some positive divergence, though, on Pepe developing at the moment. But for that to, you know, kind of become valid, you know, grow into something else, we can't see a close below 146, okay? 145, 146. If that happens, most likely that we, you know, pull down a little bit more, okay? Alright, that's Pepe. Like, I can't do much with this one. I'm just trying to give you as much as I can, like, take out as much as I can from the chart itself. But we are at support. What I want to see is, like, the bear starting to get exhausted, you know, right around these levels, okay? If that happens, sure, next resistance would be around, you know, 160, okay? somewhere on these levels, and I'm talking about the shorter time frames, right? Somewhere on these areas. Hold on. Okay. After that, any close above this level right here with a bit of strength, like see eventually around, 170-ish, 172-ish, okay? Simple. Right, CFX. Yeah, strikers know about this one. Howley especially knows about this one. CFX, let's have a quick look at CFX, okay? That one was so beautiful, so beautiful. Hold on. Okay, so those who know, right? This is literally shared on Discord for, so I know you strikers that are on Discord literally know about this one. What happened, right? We caught it around, what, 0.1810, right? If I'm not mistaken. We caught it there. It had a good time. Like, it pumped straight after, I spoke about this one. It went up, kind of hit, first, TP1, if you want to call it, or first resistance, like fire, like Howley's saying, just like fire. It hit it perfectly. Right now, we're still, like, when these kind of things happen, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see when TA is being respected, okay? So what happened? We are still, like, we went up, but we are still above this level. Like, look, all the way to 0.18110-ish, where we, spoke about it, discussed it on Discord, right? There's support, but have you noticed how this level right here is still, kind of acting as some type of support? Like, it's still holding. We still haven't seen any break below this level around 0.1876, okay? So, on the daily, I'm starting to see a little bit of signs. Look, on CFX weekly, when it comes to the weekly, I'm still not, like, it's still fine. It's still fine. What do I tell you guys sometimes? Like, it's looking awesome, it's looking beautiful, and so on and so forth. Just because it goes up, it doesn't mean it's just gonna continue up, straight up, right? If it pulls back and we test support again, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? That's only a good thing, right? So what happened here? We had this push, we had a pullback. We're holding around these critical levels at the moment. And on top of that, on the 4-hourly time frame, we have some nice divergence that is developing on CFX at the moment I'm speaking. In the minute I'm speaking, we have some nice divergence that is developing for CFX. On the daily, there are some signs, a few signs, a bit too little for me, but nevertheless, they are there. Some signs that the bears, after this beautiful correction, are starting to get a little, exhausted, just a little. I want them to be completely exhausted. Why? Because if that happens, we still need, to hit, this level, eventually, right? Okay. So what happened? Right now, on the 4-hourly, we're seeing signs of, bears are a little bit exhausted, not completely, a little bit exhausted. On the hourly, looking much better, but we need to see an hourly candle close above this area. Okay, hold on. Now it's going to be a lot of drawings, but this is necessary. So we are aware of what needs to happen for this to continue, right? We need to be aware and adapt in case things start happening, right? Okay, and on top of that, there is some positive divergence, developing also on the hourly time frame. Now, what I want to see for the hourly is a close above, first of all, a close above, 0.1964. Actually, if I'm gonna be fair, I draw it like this. Okay, and I have to, like, this is fair. Any close above this level, next resistance would be around 0.2012. After that, friends, like there is not much holding us, until the recent highs again. Okay, just saying. So if you can see a close above this area, awesomeness. On an hourly time frame, awesomeness. That could, that is telling that, most likely that we go a bit higher. Okay, if we can see an hourly candle close above this level, I repeat, strikers, right? You heard me? Okay, awesomeness. Positive divergence. I'm liking this divergence that I'm seeing. Like, I cannot hate on this. On the 4 hourly, pretty much, same. I see some positive divergence developing on the 4 hourly as well. It's not complete, it's developing. MACD is bearish, yes. Daily, MACD still positive. Like, there are no signs of any negative divergence on the daily time frame, like none. Okay, so yeah, this is like, I'm looking forward to CFX. Like, I do not see it's only gonna get bad, and I already discussed this on Discord. I think if we see any close below 0.17 ish, I like being flexible, right? It's the key to successful trades, especially when it comes to crypto. Okay, it's best, not only crypto, actually traditional assets as well. Yeah, but being flexible is important, and like I said on Discord today, not being greedy is another character that is important to try to learn. Okay, being greedy, number 1, is not good. Being flexible, number 2, is very good. Okay, so if we can, if we don't see any close below 0.17 ish on CFX, like, there's literally nothing to worry about. Okay, at the moment it's still looking fine, it's still looking good. We hit targets, we pulled back. Like, what do you expect? That's what happens, right? Like, eventually this one, we're talking about 46% move to the upside. So I know some of you that have played this one like a symphony, a beautiful symphony. Okay, I know some of you took profits right here, and it's beautiful, just beautiful, right? And now we have another chance of like I said, I wouldn't be jumping in at the moment. Like, if I was to jump in, if I'm just looking at this right now, because I want to see that the bears are completely exhausted before doing so. But I already do see signs that they're starting to get exhausted. But then again, one would rather jump in at these levels instead of jumping in at these levels. I know some, they're not strikers, okay, not from our community, but I've seen some tweets here and there of people that jumped in around these levels. Why? Because when you see things going up and you don't know where the resistance is, you don't know where the target is, you don't know what the charts are trying to tell you, of course, like, I completely understand. Then one would get in at these levels. Why? Because they expect it to keep on going. But if you catch it early, before the move happens, what do I tell you guys? I like to be ahead of my competition. If you're ahead of your competition, you're good to go. Unfortunately, that's the way the market works. You gotta dump on some, you gotta be ahead of some. That's the only way, you're gonna beat, the rest of the 90% or 100% that are trading, right? Okay, so we're done with CFX as well. Have you had a look at Cardano, guys? I missed Cardano. Yep, looks like I missed Cardano. Okay, we gotta have a look at Cardano, because I know I promised one of our striker community, that we're gonna talk about it. By the way, guys, all of you new viewers and so on and so forth, my bad. Noir, welcome to the show. Glad, you made it. Glad you found it. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And those of you who wanna, show your support, like feel free to make sure that just show me that like button works, okay? Make it work and yeah, share, so on and so forth with people are like-minded, wanna learn, and are not just here for the hype and for the moon talks and whatnot, right? If they wanna learn, share it with them, let them know. That's one way of supporting the stream, just beating down that algorithm without naming names, okay? And yeah, you can also join Patreon to show your support, because my plan is this stream is gonna be crowdfunded, right? Crowdfunded. So yeah, I'm gonna have special setups, trade setups just for the Patreons and so on and so forth, special calls and so on and so forth, also for the Patreons and so on and so forth, where we are gonna discuss TA. I'm gonna give some of my saucy tips and advice and so on. Not advice, take that back, not financial advice, but tips of how I do things when I'm doing TA. Okay, all right, I already have some educational content for the Patreons already, and many have said that it's been very helpful. All right, let's move on, shall we? Cardano. I cannot forget about Cardano, because it's been also doing some beautiful things. That one of the strikers in the community spoke, showed us a chart, and he spoke about how beautiful it was looking and so on and so forth. And then I added also my TA to it, and then I think not even hours after that, Cardano decided to have NFA. Like, we have to do that NFA, because hopefully one day I'm like working on or planning on becoming a certified analyst, like a certified so I can freely do this without being scared and so on and so forth, fearing the law and so on and so forth. But yeah, we have to mention NFA, okay? Just NFA. All right, let's have a look at Cardano. Okay, weekly time frame on Cardano. So beautiful how we hit resistance. So beautiful how we pulled back. I wish we didn't pull back. I wish I saw a weekly candle close above 0.38 or 0.4-ish for Cardano. If that happened, next resistance would have been around 0.42 to 0.45, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So on the weekly time frame, guys, I already told you there was some beautiful divergence that was developing, kind of. It's not that type A, but a type B, right? So there was this beautiful divergence, whatnot, and so on and so forth. We got, we had volume come in, but it's not the best. But we had some volume come in, but it doesn't, match the candle really. MACD is trying to go bullish, which is not a bad thing, right? We gotta give it some time. Our SI is below neutral still. That is nothing special. So let's head over to the daily, okay? Which is more interesting. So on the daily, guys, right now, bears are pressuring the bulls. Why? Because unfortunately, it closed below 0.32. Unfortunately, if we can see it get back above 0.32, okay, close above 0.32, then yes, there's a decent chance we can come, like there's not much resistance if that happens on the daily. Like resistance all the way up here again, okay, if that happens. So we could see it back around 0.35, 0.37, very possible. But I do not like the fact that it closed below 0.32-ish level. Like that is, yeah. So in other words, what I'm saying is this level we need to get above. Hold on. Somewhere around this area, okay? Somewhere around this area, we have to get above it. We have to get above it, all right? On the 4-hourly time frame, funny enough, but almost the same, okay? I do see a little bit of signs, just a little bit of signs, a few signs that the bears are starting to get exhausted. But it will be a bit more confirmed if I can see at least this candle right here, close above 0.319. Yeah, 0.319 is fine, okay? If we can see that. Next resistance I'll be looking at when it comes to Cardano is right here. First resistance right here. And then we have another resistance all the way here. Okay. Pretty much the same on the hourly as well. Cool. Yeah, I think we are good. I think we're good, yeah? Awesomeness. Okay. Any close above this level, this area right here? For Cardano, any hourly candle close above this area? Like there's not much resistance until, you know, back to the recent highs, okay? Am I seeing something on Cardano as well? Hold on. Bellissima. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay. Okay, so you know what's up, right? Funny how it goes hand in hand with that, you know, resistance. Well, area, I want to see this 4-hourly candle close around, okay? At least 0.319, right? Look at this, right around 0.319 as well. So we need to see that close around, you know, because if that happens, guys, if that happens with that positive divergence and whatnot that I'm seeing, like chances are so much higher that we go all the way up here, okay? And then if we see any 4-hourly candle close, even hourly, but 4-hourly even better, okay? Then see around these levels again. But this one was beautiful. So Howley was the one who put out a chart on, you know, Cardano first, and I had a look at it because, you know, he was discussing it, so I was like, let me have a look at Cardano and so on and so forth. And then he was, you know, pointing out how, you know, he thinks it's probably gonna go up and so on and so forth. I don't remember the levels, and then we discussed it, and then I came back with my chart as well, and I was like, yeah, I kind of see, you know, an ascending triangle and so on and so forth. And then I don't know if it was the same day, Howley, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was the same day, and then it just smashed to the upside. Like I was like, what the heck just happened? So The support around this level was beautiful. It held like a king. I spoke about this with the strikers on Discord. It held like a king, and then the moment we broke above this level, like, it was gone, Ada, gone. Like, there was no stopping it. There was no stopping it at all. It was beautiful. It was just beautiful. Yeah, loving this. Dinner, welcome to the show. Glad you made it. Glad you made it. Right, Hallie? Like, this is why I love, you know, TA, and this is why I love it even more when TA is respected, because it's not always gonna be respected. Even though you see things and you do your TA correctly, what do I always tell you guys? This is not magic. It's not magic. Sometimes it's gonna play out, sometimes it's not gonna play out. But what we can do with TA is manage our risks, make better trading decisions, have a better understanding of what the chart is telling us, right? Otherwise, like one of you said, I remember who, we could just, you know, draw a dart on the chart and that's it. Pretty much. So this was beautiful, just beautiful. All right, awesomeness. What's Bitcoin doing, by the way? Let's go back, have a look. I had the moving averages prepared for you guys, just in case, right? I showed one of my relatives and one of my guests that was here this chart, and he was like, okay, please shut it off, because, you know, I get stressed out. And I started laughing. I was like, this is not so stressful. He was like, shut it off. Like, how can you have a look at this without, you know, getting confused? I was like, I'm the one who is drawing these things. He was like, why isn't it clean? I was like, well, that's a life of a analyst. Like, I cannot even explain why. It is just what it is. It's simple. Yeah, Sinner. TA, awesome. Okay. Let's see now. On the 4-hourly, right? Giving people heart attacks just by charts. It's funny. It's pretty funny. Like, especially my girl life friends, they are so, like, they can't deal with it even for 5 minutes. They're like, Dana, like, you're stressing us out. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. They want to do it, but the moment they realize, like, the time and effort and focus and everything you have to, like, give, like, you have to be devoted. Then they're like, no thank you, I want to enjoy life. I'm like, well, you can enjoy life even better, you know, if you learn to do these things. But yeah, okay, so we are below, you know, short-term moving average, mid-term moving average on the 4-hourly time frame. On the daily, like, looks like this short-term moving average is all the way around this critical area right here. Okay, meaning, okay, if we lose this support, yes, because people think that we will never ever see, you know, 28.6 now, straight to the moon and whatnot. This is not the truth. Okay, we're gonna take a look step by step, level by level. So it's very possible this support right here, 28.6, of course, after we break certain levels, it's not gonna come straight away. It's still very possible. Okay, just saying. I could kind of see a falling wedge on the 15-minute chart. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. I love it when you guys are having a look and tell me these kind of things so we can have a look at it together as well. And I think you're talking about Bitcoin, Mago, right? Before I go ahead and draw it on this one. Falling wedge, you say? Okay, I don't see it. Mago. I don't see the falling wedge. Hold on. Now you're making me think, because I can't spot it with my eyes. Hold on, let me first do this. Do send me a chart. Take a screenshot and send it to Discord, and I'll have a look, and maybe we can draw it together here because I can't see it at the moment. I see a parallel channel. But I don't see any wedge. Did you mean to say like a falling, well, a downsloping wedge, Mago? Because a wedge, a falling wedge, it should be something like this, right? Something like this, right? To the downside, right? But this is not what we're seeing at the moment. It's more, it's kind of respecting this parallel channel, if, like, according to my TA at least. So do send it and I'll have a look, and if it does make sense, we're gonna, you know, put it out here and talk about it. But I do see definitely there is a parallel channel that is being respected right now. That is 100%. Keeps on getting rejected around these levels, as you guys can see, right? Man, it's too hot. What the crap? I was just about to swear. It's too hot. Lord have mercy. Yeah, we have to call it a parallel channel. We have to call it a parallel channel because when it's wedges, it's like I said, wedges, then they are a bit broad on the, you know, on the top, and then they get narrower and narrower and narrower. So yeah, we definitely have a parallel channel that's developing on this one. It looks like more of a bull flag, if you ask me. But the point with those, you know, parallel channels is one thing. And that thing is we wait for a breakout to the upside or breakout to the downside, depending on, you know, the current action, the current trend, you know, it just, you know, had, and so on and so forth. So looking at this one after, you know, this mini uptrend, we're talking about the 15-minute, by the way, guys, right? 15-minute. Yeah, more as a bull flag, but it's not, you know, one can trade the range, you know, one can trade the range, right? Until it breaks out, you know, to the upside or the downside, and then it's another situation. But this is a tradable range indeed, okay? Now, in 1.5 minutes, we're gonna see how this candle is gonna close, which is gonna make it clear if we're gonna pull back or not. $33.12. Okay. All right, let's see. If it closes anywhere below, let's say 30,288, 89, decent chance. It comes down a little bit, okay? We're talking about the 15-minute chart, friends. 15-minute chart. Do not confuse it with the daily and so on, right? Yeah, why it's very important to call the things for what they are, especially when learning. It's because it could confuse you. It could confuse you, you know, like if we call this, you know, for a pennant instead of a, you know, parallel channel, or a wedge instead of for a parallel channel. It's gonna get confusing the more things you learn. Right? Next time you might see a pennant, right? But then it's gonna get confusing. You're not gonna know which is the pennant, which is the wedge, which is this. So it's very important to like stay on top of things, you know, and try to, you know, remember the correct terms. I know it's a lot of terms, a lot of things, you know, to go through, but together we can do it. Together we can do it. I'll remind you sometimes, and when I'm wrong, sometimes, you know, just remind me, because sometimes I'm talking too fast. So I realize that I say the wrong words, so I try to correct myself immediately, but it doesn't always happen. I'm only human, okay? So feel free to correct me as well. What's interesting is on the hourly, guys, on the hourly, I'm loving this action. I'm loving the action on the hourly for Bitcoin at the moment. I cannot hate on this. This is looking good, okay? We have our first, you know, positive momentum. It's trying to come. You see this little green bar right here that is trying to do something. MACD is trying to go bullish as well, okay? Where did this close? 3,290. Yeah, like bears, you know, trying to fight this again, of course, as usual. Okay, friends. Any requests before I call it a show, because we got, like, I've been on for 2 hours straight. Got an early morning. So if there are any requests, we can take them together now. And if none, we'll continue the chat on Discord probably when needed. So we've had a look today. We've had a look at quite a few, over 10. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, of course, the King and Queen, XRP, Solana, Eng, Uni, Pepe, CFX, ADA. Awesomeness. Thank you for, showing up, Howley. Like, I always appreciate it when all of you come and go. Howley, Ralph, and, Sinner. Everybody, literally everybody. Like, it's a pleasure to see you, interact with you live and so on and so forth. Because I know we talk on Discord, but it's another thing when it's live, and I can chat and so on. And on top of that, I know last week I was supposed to bring this awesome guy that also is an analyst to the show. Problem is, I had sudden plans and so on and so forth, so I couldn't do that at the same time. But hopefully this week we're gonna go back to the usual routine with the daily streams starting from Tuesday, hopefully. So yeah, I'll try to get a hold of him and try to make some new plans and so on and so forth. So we'll see what happens this week. But yeah, I'm probably gonna plan a community call on Discord as well, sometime at the end of this month or maybe the beginning of next month. So yeah, keep your eyes open, stay tuned on Discord, and yeah, you know where to find me on Discord. I'm always there trying to do my best and answer your questions. And yeah, keep on liking, smashing that like and so on and so forth. Thank you for all the love, contributions, support and so on. Like, I appreciate each and one of you. So keep on smashing that like, keep on, sharing and so on and so forth, especially if you feel that the information is valuable, if you feel that it's entertaining at the same time as well. And yeah, for those of you who want to join Patreon, Patreon, you know where to find it as well. So yeah, Howley, the community calls on Discord, I've had one and it was awesome. Like, everybody can get to know each other. You can ask me, direct questions and so on and so forth. Eventually, one day we're gonna take it in Spaces, but right now I just want to have it for the strikers in the group, right? So yeah, make sure to keep an eye on it, and much love to all of you, and I'll see you on the next one. Good night.